Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's Fred Hodgins up in Ontario, Canada, and just wanted to do a quick live, and I'm going to jump right into it. A couple days ago, one of my mentors, Seth Mulder, showed a slide, and it just really resonated with me. And it resonated because it's a concept, it's something that I learned back 20 years ago and was able to apply this. And the slide is called There's Only Three Ways to Earn Income. And today, with COVID and working from home, it's never been more important to be able to generate revenue from home. But this slide is much more than that. It's going to compare a few things. I think you'll get some value from this. I had no idea of this concept before I learned it. And so let me just do a quick screen share and we'll jump right into this. So as you can see here on the slide, there is really just three ways of earning income. And the first is, you can see on the left-hand side, is a job, right? And the second is to own a business. And the third, which is something I knew nothing about, is developing, building, or creating an economic engine. And so I was real familiar with the one on the left, right? Because I'm a blue collar guy. I grew up in a blue collar household. My dad was an electrician. My mom worked in a hardware store. My uncles were pipe fitters. My grandfather was a pipe fitter. Right? I did an apprenticeship. I became an electrician as well, and I worked in a propane refinery. And so that was what I knew, and that's what I was kind of good at, and I liked. Let me just let's break this down. And so in this model, if you will, this economic model, you can see here. I'm going to actually go back up. In this picture, you can see on the left hand side is there's a man in a wheel, and there's a man outside the wheel. And then there's a man in the second one, a man in the wheel, and he looks like he's running a little bit faster, the small business owner. And then there's a man outside the wheel with an oil can, oiling a machine. And so in wheel number one, this is the one most of us are familiar with, right? Where we get a good education and we get a job. Some people go to college or university and become a professional, right? An engineer, a nurse, a specialized skill, a doctor, an accountant. And others, like myself, do an apprenticeship. There's people that become a hairdresser and working in a hairdressing salon. And whatever it is that would fit here, anywhere there's a job. And in my case, with my job, once I got my education, handed out resumes, and eventually got that job and started as a fifth year apprentice, as a beginning apprentice. And my boss was outside the wheel, making sure that I did my job, right? And as long as I was running in that wheel, I was generating revenue. As obviously that wheel was generating more revenue for the company, but they were paying me to run in that wheel to do my job. And as long as I was running in the wheel, I was getting paid, and we're able to pay the bills for the family. And I got my 2-3 weeks vacation, and the boss was making sure that I ran in the wheel. So the key thing to remember, to realize, is in this model, someone else owns the wheel, right? You don't own the wheel if you have a job. And so that's just the way that is. So the second thing is owning a business. Early on in my job wheel, where I was running, I realized, boy, I'm never going to be able to, my pensions probably won't be enough when I turn 65. I realized there was a lot of things happening in that job environment. I wasn't really in control. Something could happen. I could lose my job. As an example, one of the guys I worked with was in a car accident, and he no longer could do his job. And in this case, he went on long-term disability. And then the insurance company, after 2 years, cut him off, right? How about other people that have worked in that environment their whole career, and then right near the end, there's an economic downturn, or the company releases them so they don't have to pay out their pension. There's a lot of risk there for financial security. So I decided, boy, I need to start some sort of business. I wanted the tax advantages of having my own business at home, right? One of the things we did was we bought a farm. But another thing that I did before that actually was I started a sign business where I installed real estate signs. So I'd work all day and I'd install these real estate signs, and I'd drum up business to install these signs. And I found really early that, man, the buck stopped with me. If I wasn't out generating new business and I wasn't installing the signs, there was no revenue in that business. And that could be the same as, say, it's a physiotherapist or a chiropractor or a person that owns a hair salon, right? A small business that has employees. The business owner is in charge of everything, right? The business owner, the buck stops with the business owner. Who is the most important person in a business when you're the owner? If you own the business, who's the most important person? A lot of people will say the customer. No, that's not true. The most important person is you, because if you don't show up, you don't generate more revenue, you don't bring in more business, nothing happens. Say you have an employee and the employee doesn't show up. Well, then you've either got to do their job or you've got to figure something out, because you're supplying the customer and running the business, and you're dealing with all the, the government regulations, the workman's comp, the accountants, the lawyers, the inventory, the accounts receivable, the accounts payable, the 30, 60, 90 doubtful, right? So you're in charge of all that. What 30, 60, 90, so doubtful is, you hope someone pays in 30 days and 60 days and 90 days. Well, then it's doubtful, right? So there's all of those things. So as you notice in this wheel, he's running, and he's running faster than the one in wheel number one. And he's even sweating. Why? Because it's representing, he's got all the risk, all the weight of the whole company of the of producing is based on him or her in wheel number two. And so you might own the business, the small business owner owns the business, but the wheel owns the owner, right? Owns you. And I found that when I was running my own businesses, and I did that at the same time as I was working my job. So trying to balance all this and raise a family. Well, about 25 years ago, a neighbor of mine, when I was a farmer, I was delivering some chickens, and she said, well, Fred, you're an entrepreneur, which I really didn't think of myself as that. She says, here, watch this video. And she said, I says, oh, if it's network marketing, I'm not interested. And she says, well, you've got an open mind, don't you? And I said, yes. She says, just look at this model. Watch the video, look at the model. And if you like what you see, I can introduce you to some people. And so I looked at the video because I said, yeah, I've got an open mind, right? And I looked at it and I started to dig in, and it wasn't explained quite as simply as this, but there was a way to develop an economic engine. So you can see in this third slide here that the little man or the woman is outside of the wheel, and there's an engine there. The gears and stuff represent the engine, and the engine is turning the wheel. So as you start getting that wheel developed, right, that engine developed, and it's turning the wheel. At first it starts slow. It's just chug, 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 and then chug, 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 like the sound effect, and then vroom, vroom, vroom. And so the engine is running the wheel, and by the wheel moving, it's generating revenue for you and your family. And if the economic engine is built correctly, it actually builds an asset that can pay you into the future. So the work that you do today can get paid 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road if the economic engine is built correctly. And so about 8 years ago, my wife and I partnered with two partners. One was LifeVantage. LifeVantage is a publicly traded company. It's on the NASDAQ. They've got products that actually slow the aging process. There's real science and studies through Harvard and LSU and so forth. That's not the purpose of this video. But there's real science. And then we partnered with a group of people, and it's Team Leverage. The reason that they named the organization Team Leverage is they've developed a system of support to help an everyday blue collar guy, or a professional, or a single mom, or a busy mom nurse, or to help people develop this economic engine. And so the philosophy is that every person joining brand new has positive leverage in their lives to develop this economic engine. So you can see the little man here is outside, and he's just got an oil can. And once the engine's built and running, then it's going to generate revenue for decades to come. And I was really interested in that. I'm not a salesperson. I had a lot of insecurities, and I thought, oh, I can't do this. But as I opened my mind, I thought, I cannot not do this if I want to have the benefits of this. I was going to work hard my whole life in model 1 or 2. What if I could learn some new skills and do that here? And that's what we decided to do. So we call our system ITT. It's really simple. We've partnered with Team Leverage and LifeVantage. ITT stands for invite. We just invite to find out if someone's looking, and they watch an introductory video. In our case, it's an ABC investigative news report. Then we share this tool, which is another video that tells the rest of the story. And the person can learn about it, not through you explaining it or me explaining, but through a couple videos. And then introduce to someone on the team, someone to tell the rest of the story, to do what I don't have to do, what I don't want to do, what I wasn't good at, have someone else tell the story. Our website is LV Connector, and that's just a picture of it here. We also have an app. The company has an app that we can run on our phone. We have a mobile-first, mobile-friendly business. The website works off our mobile device, off a computer, or it works right from the app on the phone, and it's so simple. The company provides the app for free. Team Leverage provides the website for free, and here's just a look at it. And so you can go to lvconnector.com, and this is part of the economic engine. The good thing is you and I don't have to build this. It's been built for us so that we can utilize it. And we can watch the video so that there's more about this, but that's just a snapshot. And so here's also part of the system. Now, if you want to be really good at sales, you can join something, an economic model that takes a lot of sales and takes a lot of selling high ticket items. I wasn't interested in that. I didn't, that takes too much for me. That's not my personality. I didn't have time, but I was already a consumer. I was already buying products. So I thought, well, I can maybe just redirect my purchasing power. And with LifeVantage, we've got unique products that do special things that upregulate our body's own antioxidant defense mechanisms and so forth. So on this sheet, I put my name on line 0. You would put your name on line 0. You join the company for $50 and some products. And then we'll explain that in another video or in person. But your name goes there. And we just want to find 3 people that want a better life, that want some free time, that want these products to activate their cells and do that, and to be able to have tax advantages because now you own your own enterprise. So we partnered with Team Leverage to gain personal freedom. That's what I wanted, was personal freedom. I wanted my time back. And so we found some people. In this case, this diagram shows 3. You might find 30, 40, 50 people like we have done. It started out with just a couple, just sharing some information. And then we're going to use the system to help your people find their people and find their people and find their people. So in this example would show 3, finding 3 is 27 people on line 3. And it's just going to continue to grow like a franchise would, like any other business does. It's the same thing, but instead of paying the franchise, it's paying you for developing the network. And we also find customers. Some people don't want to be business partners, but they want these products. Once they're educated about these products, they want the products. And so we just fill that out, put their name in there as a customer, give them the website, place the order, and then the company does all that. The company, has the websites all built, and then they just click on shop, just like if it was on Amazon or something. You just click on shop, they buy what they want, they can set up a subscription, they can cancel it, they can do whatever they want, but we start building our customer base. So all our distributor partners that share this, can build customers. LifeVantage, 80% of the volume goes to customers. The company's now done $2 billion in revenue, paid out roughly 50% or $1 billion to folks like us. And this is an income disclosure sheet. What this sheet is, because LifeVantage is a publicly traded company, we're required by law to share this sheet. And I love sharing this sheet because it tells the truth. There's truth in numbers. This sheet is from 2019. You can see that here. There'll be a new sheet coming out in a month or 2. This line here is really important. This is for U.S. distributors. This sheet is, and 73.7% of all distributors received pay in 2019. So we've all heard the 80-20 rule, right? Where 80% of the people do 20% of the work, 20% of the people make 80% of the money, and so forth. And that's true in any organization, in any job or volunteer or anything. Well, it's interesting here at LifeVantage, it's reversed. 73% of the people participate in the revenue stream. And again, we're partnered with LifeVantage. So here's the rank levels here, 1 through 12. This is the average commission per rank level. I'm just going to pick a couple of them here. At Pro 3, the average income is $626. We make 40% of the revenue of the new business you bring in. There's another video explaining exactly how that works, but the average revenue is $626 US dollars. Takes on average 8 months for people to do this. We did this our 2nd month, and it pays an average annual income of $7,500. Imagine a $7,500 raise. So at the level of 4, Pro 4, it's an average of $1,500 a month of revenue. Average is 12 months to do this. We did it in our 3rd month, an average of $18,000 a year of ongoing leveraged income. And if it's built properly, it's going to keep coming in month after month after month into the future. Pro 5, $3,000 a month. Average is 16 months. It took us 5 months, $36,000. I'll just stop at this one's Pro 6. It's roughly $7,000 to round the numbers. It takes an average of 23 months. Some people do it faster, some do it slower. It's all in how much you plug into the economic engine, the ITT in the system, and learn some skills. So that's an average income annually of $83,000. And you can see here, it just continues to go up. The more value that you bring by leveraging the system, the more that this is going to, develop revenue. It's about adding value and having the system. You can see as the numbers go up here, by adding more value, you can actually earn professional income, professional athlete income. And so the choice is yours, whether you want to participate in just an Economic Engine 1 or Economic Engine 2, or a combination of those two, or develop an economic engine where the engine's turning the wheel, generating revenue, starting out part-time to learn these skills to develop the engine so that your future is secure to be able to work from home. So with that, I just hope you got some value there. It's caught some curiosity. Get back to the person that invited you to look at this video, and appreciate your time. So have a wonderful day.